Hello, everyone. Oh, it's like a balloon. Welcome to Crafting and Cruising on the Highway. We are cruising down the highway. So when you get on, you're going to hear the GPS trying to get us out of Chattanooga. Then Rodney will turn it off. When you get on, say hi. And if by chance you're watching the replay, then please hashtag replay so we'll know you came on and watched. So we are driving down the road. We have been, hey Esther, we have been out of town, and I woke up this morning with a terrible headache and knew that we were going to be traveling, so I thought, why put on makeup and why do my greasy head of hair? Hey, Deborah did. So, I didn't do either one. And in a minute, I will tell y'all about a backhanded compliment that I got today that was absolutely hysterical, I thought. So, Rodney has been working in Atlanta, the Atlanta area. So yesterday, I got to go see my favorite and really only art teacher, my watercolor teacher. I think some of y'all were on my live yesterday when I was doing an interview with her. And it's the first time I've seen her in many years since she moved here from Franklin. And she's also battled cancer, a very serious cancer, and is now declared cancer-free. Hey, Tessie. And then her husband died a year ago, December, after being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer 2 months before he passed away. So she's been through a lot, but let me just tell y'all something. I posted a video today of, as soon as we got through at her place, we went, once a week they have music, and they have, hey Jamie, they have this guy that has a pretty good voice. That sings a lot of the old songs. And so yesterday he was singing, and there's people there, you know, in wheelchairs. Some of them have walkers. A lot of them are like Gail and are totally mobile. But Gail back in her day danced a lot. She loved to dance. So I mean to tell you, we went to hear that music, and she got out there on the dance floor. If you hadn't seen the video, I've posted it on my page. You need to look. And she would go over to some of the people even that couldn't get up and dance, and she would, did you see it, Deborah? She would just kind of hold their hands and, you know, act like they were moving back and forth. She's so sweet and so full of life, and she says that she feels like the older she gets, and after having gone through the cancer scare, that she's just kind of learned to appreciate life more. Hey, Debbie Harris. And realize that life is short, and so, you know, you might as well live your life, enjoy it, and not put off doing things because you're afraid people will think you look crazy or whatever. So we are in the car. We are not in the motorhome. And in a minute, I'm going to tilt you down so that those of you who have not seen the Home Depot board that Rodney made me to work on, you can see it. And then we're going to make what's called a posy. And I actually purchased this, the one I'm going to show you, the other day from Allie's Studio. Allie's the one, hey Mickey, that designed my logo and my business cards, and she's very, very creative. And so I definitely wanted to give her credit. I got in touch with her and asked her if she would mind if I did this on my live, and she said not at all, that there's several creators that make these. But here's the one that she made me, and then I'll show you one that I made this morning. I did not turn my camera, sorry. But if you can tell, this is just the portion of a paper towel roll or a toilet paper roll. Some people do it with tin cans, and they actually will smash the bottom of the tin can. But this little wooden piece over here, she wrote love on and just kind of hung it down. Of course, it's got a tassel with some beading. and then some little flowers, and then this little heart that she covered. Well, actually, she may have painted that. Otherwise, she used a scrapbook paper. I think you can turn that off now. So this is the one that she made that I bought from her. And then this morning, I wanted to practice, so I made this one. I'll get the little things hanging down here. So I made this one. That's the front, and this is the back, and I've got a little pearl I'm going to put right in the center. I hadn't put it on yet because I had not gotten them. I ran out of glue sticks, and so we had to stop to get glue sticks. But here's what I'm saying about these. Hey, Sherry Walton. Hey, Esther. Thank you, Esther. I think these are darling to put on packages to give somebody because it's just an extra cute little gift that they can hang from a lamp pull. You can hang it over a doorknob. So I think it'd be cute as a little gift. You don't have to necessarily decorate the whole thing. You could write a message on here. I think these would be cute to give as bridesmaids gifts with maybe some silk flowers that were similar to the flowers the bridesmaids were going to carry. Thank you, Debbie. There's so many possibilities that you can do with these. A teacher appreciation. Yes, Tessie, that's a great idea. So anyway, we're just going to kind of play around while we're in the car driving and see if we can come up with a different one. Now, most of the flowers will be the same as the one, hey, Tina Fox, as the ones that you saw in the one I made because those are the only flowers I have with me. So I've already taken my part. Rodney had bought some paper towels for us. So I used one part, and then this is going to be the other part. I have already base coated it white, and I used the only white paint I had with me, which was actually a enamel glass paint, wicker white enamel glass paint by Fogart. Took a little longer to dry, and it has a little sheen on it. That's okay, it doesn't matter because we're going to be covering it up. Hey, Sharon. So here's what we're going to do first. Let me tilt you down so you can see. Hopefully you can see the, pulling it out of the holder. Hold on. You can see my little holder, my little tray down here that Rodney made me. What you probably can't see is over here I have some little holes cut out to stick my paintbrushes down in. And then I have a sponge over here with the hole cut out that holds water for me to use. And I have some more holes on this side over here for my brushes, and I've had my scissors in one of them. So it's very handy dandy when I'm driving down the road to be able to use this. So I think what we're going to do is get all the elements made so that then I can turn my glue tool on, and I won't have to worry about it running out of batteries. The first thing I'm going to do is, and I also took some of this Sari silk and ripped it up. That's what I used on this one. I used 2 different colors. And y'all, by the way, this Sari silk is all from the same roll. This is dyed in avocado and a little bit of baking soda. I know, doesn't that sound weird? But good job, Rodney, Esther said. I couldn't believe it when I heard it either, but it really does work. So, first I'm going to make squares. Remember, we've changed the wording of what we're saying about what we're doing here. I'm not going to do any kind of drag. Apparently that is a copyrighted something that has gotten some people in trouble. So we're not going to do that. So I'm going to hold this. Is this a 1/2 inch, Rodney?
With that ruler?
Uh-huh.
Closer to 3/4.
Closer to 3/4, he said. I could have used a smaller one, but I figured doing it in the car, a bigger one would be better. So I'm going to hold the ruler in the center approximately, and I was going to trace down both sides until I lost it. So let me just do it this way, okay? And then I'm just going to keep moving my ruler around and drawing my vertical lines, and then I'm going to bend it a little as I go so that my lines will all be even, and then I can shape it when I get ready to put it all together. That way I won't have some squares that are bigger and some that are smaller. The one that I did this morning, I didn't do it this way, and I didn't like it as well. So I got that one a little bit off. So I'm taking my black and white pencil that says "You Do You" from Studio MDAZ, and it's a great pencil and a fabulous eraser. A lot of pencils don't have great erasers.
They smudge red.
Yep. So let me just keep going down here, and then we'll turn it and do it the other direction. We'll mark our checks, and then we will paint. And what I did on the other one, since we weren't doing the drag, I ended up just putting some polka dots in the corners where two of the squares meet.
We'll check and see if they can see what you're doing.
Yeah, they can. Alright, let me try to straighten that one out. Between having a round surface and the bumps in the road we're going over, it's not easy to necessarily draw straight lines. Okay, so this one is a little bit wide here. I'm not going to worry about it because it's not that much wider than the rest of them. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so now I'm going to hold it in the center this way and draw on both sides. And then we're going to have all of our squares drawn off. And we're going to hope that we have the right number. I'm going to lay it down here. I hope y'all can still see it, but when I lay it down, I can trace around it better. Okay, so now I'm going to tell y'all, have you, any of you all, I want you to tell me in the comments, and I won't be able to read it until I get home, but I will go back and read them. Of course, Rodney can't read them in the comments right now, but have any of you all ever received a backhanded compliment? And I'm sure that you know what a backhanded compliment is. My dad used to talk about backhanded compliments people would get a lot. So I grew up hearing a lot about backhanded compliments. And I want to know, before I tell the story, how many of you have gotten a backhanded compliment before? Hey, Shelly Stacklin. Let's see. Great idea, Rodney, she said. I think she's talking about this. Okay, so since I can't read comments, I'm just going to keep talking and tell y'all what happened to me today.
You could tip it up and take a break from the head, or...
Well,
I just
why don't you
wondered
tilt it up a little
I
bit?
just wondered if anybody's had a backhanded compliment that they could share with you, where somebody said something and when you thought about it, it may not have been quite the compliment you thought it was.
So, if you have had, say yes. Not sure what that means. Okay, Sherry, a backhanded compliment is when somebody wants you to believe they're paying you a compliment, but they're really not. They're really saying the opposite of what the compliment would be.
Or something about the compliment makes it really not very complimentary after all.
Like, if you saw somebody's drawing they did, hey Jamie, if you saw somebody's drawing they did, and you knew it was just a train wreck, and they knew it was a train wreck, and you said, oh my gosh, that is really a pretty painting you did there, or drawing you did
Or
there.
if maybe somebody went up to somebody and said, when is your baby due?
And they weren't pregnant.
Things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, things like that, you know. So has anybody else ever experienced that, or are your lives just so together that you never have? I don't think I've experienced it a lot, and I don't think that I want to experience it a lot more. But so far, I haven't seen anybody say, and I even asked my daughters today, I said, I was telling them about it. I said, have you ever received a backhanded compliment? And they said, I mean, probably, but I couldn't tell you what it is. So, clearly, they weren't impressed by it. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to get these on here so we can proceed. And then I'll look up and see if anybody's had a backhanded compliment. My mother-in-law would say, this is surprisingly good when she came to dinner.
Yeah, that's a good
There
one.
you go. That's a real good one. Yeah, this is surprisingly good. Like, thanks. That I can tell you really think it's good. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, let me mark every other one here real quick so that we can get started, and I'll stop long enough to tell y'all the story. Because it'll probably be better if I tilt my camera up so I can see it. Uh-oh. Now I got two blacks together. Ruh-roh.
Didn't have an odd number? Wait, you did have an odd number?
I didn't count. So that real wide one should cut in half. Yeah, this is the problem, y'all. You know what? That's not even right. Hold on. Oh, please. Okay, I think I marked some of them wrong. So let's see.
Get out your abacus and count.
Rodney told me to get out my abacus. Did y'all ever use an abacus? I guess we did in school, but I don't remember.
I
using
saw
it.
one, but nobody ever used one. Why would you?
I think that was back in the day. We're going to talk about the day in just a minute.
No, an abacus.
Whatever
Well, it
that
really
day
wasn't an
is.
American thing anyway. That was a.
I know, but I think even my mother used an abacus.
It's not a. I use slide rules, but
I'm
abacus.
sure I have. Shelley Stuckman said, I don't remember ever getting a backhanded compliment. Well, Shelley, count your blessings, honey. That's a wonderful thing if you haven't. I'm sorry you're going to feel cheated, though, after you hear my story. You're going to wish that somebody had paid you a backhanded compliment, not JK. Okay, I'm almost through. Still think it's going to be wrong. But you know what? It's going to be covered up with so much stuff, it's not going to matter. So, okay. Let me take a sip of this water before I start. Bye, Esther. So, today, okay, so last night, we were in Atlanta. And Rodney had a job to do there, and we were staying in the La Quinta Inn, which is where the job was. Normally, we probably wouldn't stay in one of those because typically La Quintas are not known to be like the nicest. You don't stay in the nicest hotels necessarily, but sometimes they can be pretty run down. This one looked like it was going to be okay, and it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. So anyway, he had jobs to do there, a job to do there last night, and then this morning, I'm gonna start painting while I talk to y'all. This morning, he had to be in downtown Atlanta at the Lowe's Hotel to do a job there. So he had requested a late checkout for us so that I could stay at the La Quinta and, you know, rest or craft or whatever while he was in downtown hotel, because I didn't want to sit in the lobby and try to craft, and sure didn't want to sit in the parking garage. If you see a bump coming, will you let me know since I'm doing checks?
So if y'all hear the word bump, that means I'm about to hit a bump.
So anyway, I woke up with a really, really bad headache, and so after Rodney left, well, I had helped him take some stuff down to the car so we wouldn't have much to load when he got back. So he left, and I came in and got myself ready, drank some coffee, took some medicine, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to make one of these cozies before tonight, just so I can see how everything's going to go. So I crafted and still didn't feel great. And so I thought, you know, until he gets back, I think I'm just going to lay down. So I had my hair in a ponytail, not a loose one like this, or not on top of my head, but just a regular ponytail. And it's pretty tight on my head. And so, anyway, when he texted me and told me he was getting close to the hotel, I thought, okay, time for me to get up and get all the rest of the stuff together and I'll just meet him out front of the hotel. So that's what I did. And as I was walking out, hey Tammy, y'all, how are you, my sister? Haven't seen you in forever. We're on our way home from Atlanta, and I'm telling them about a backhanded compliment I got today. So anyway, like I said, I put on no makeup. My hair's greasy. I didn't wash it because I got to do that tonight because tomorrow we leave for camping. So anyway, he texts me and he says he's on his way back. So I pick up the remnants of what we had not taken out to the car, and I head on out. And as I'm walking through the lobby, I saw this very nice looking, hey Debbie Dunham, African-American man talking to the people at the front desk. And he looked like he was probably in his 40s or 50s. He was very nicely dressed. And, but I didn't talk to him or say hello or anything. I just walked out the front door. And when I got out there, I put all my stuff down by this post to wait on Rodney, and I thought, I've got to do something about this hair of mine because this rubber band is killing my headache. I need to loosen it up. So I'm not good at figuring out how to do things. Looks like fun. Hello. It is real life. That's right, Tammy. And so anyway, I took the rubber band out like 2 or 3 times trying to figure out how to get the thing in my hair to make it work. And every now and then I would just, not intentionally, but I would realize that, I was turned so that I was looking back in the hotel lobby. And so anyway, a few minutes later, that guy that was at the desk came out, and I had just seen Rodney turning off the main highway into the little complex. Did you forget to say bump 3 times? Turning into the complex, and so I thought, good, here he comes. Well, when that guy comes out, his car was parked under the area where you check in. And he said, ma'am, I bet back in the day you had men all over you. And I said, I'm sorry, what? Because I truly didn't hear fully what he said. And he goes, I bet back in the day you had men all over you. He said he did you. Y'all, I just was like, oh, thank you. And Rodney drove up about that time, and he said, I bet back in the day you were pretty. And Rodney said, when he drove up, Rodney assumed he and I had been standing there talking because he saw me talking to him. And so, y'all, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. Hey, Mary White. I was trying not to laugh. And so he gets in his car and leaves, and Rodney gets out of the car and comes over there and he goes, your mouth was open. What did that guy say? And so I told him, of course, Rodney got the biggest chuckle out of it. And he had to go in and check us out. And so I literally got in the car. I was almost crying. I was laughing so hard. So when Rodney got back in the car, he said, was he being mean? And I said, no, I think he was really trying to be very nice. But I think he was trying to pay me a compliment. It didn't work. So, now see, I've come back around here, and this one needs to be black too. So I'm going to make that one black because I'm going to make sure that when I put all of my frou-frou on here, that it's going to cover up all that, so nobody's going to know the difference. So anyway, y'all, that's a backhanded compliment. Now, I don't think he was trying to be ugly because he didn't seem like that kind of person. But, so then Rodney, who has a very quick wit, I don't, Rodney said, you should have looked at him and said, I'm sorry, sir, but what do you mean back in the day? I have men all over me right now, just like ducks on a June bug. Oh, it was so funny. We laughed and laughed and laughed. So, I hope that if any of y'all have ever had a backhanded compliment, you will post it here so that I'll know that I'm not the only recipient of such blessing. my gray hair gets those comments too. I'm struggling not to diet. Hey, Debbie, I'm going to let mine go natural. I am. I have fought it tooth and nail. Mine's not gray. Mine's white at the roots. You can see, I'm sure. And I was blonde for a long time. My natural hair color was dark brown, but that hadn't been natural in a long time. And so years ago, I decided if blondes had more fun, I wanted to be blonde. And so I've had it highlighted for years and years and years. But my hair grows like a weed. So, you know, I used to have to get it done a lot. And Ronnie said, I don't know why you don't just let your hair go natural. And I said, because natural is white, and I'm not doing that. And he said, but I think it would look good. And I went, no, I'm not doing it. And so recently, thank you, Tammy. Recently, I told the girl that does my hair, I said, I think, Jody, it's time for me just to let it go natural. But when I had so much yellow in it, when it started growing out, it still had that yellow blonde color. And then it looked terrible. So I said, let's try like a deeper gray and see if I think I can at least stand that. And I got a lot of compliments on it. Most of y'all probably saw it then because that hadn't been that long. And I got a lot of compliments on it. But y'all, it grows out so fast. And when it does, then it still has that yellow in there. So y'all may have seen that I posted, thank you, Shelly, you're so sweet, that I posted a GoFundMe page for the girl that does my hair. She's battling AFib and rapid, very high blood pressure. And, of course, being a stylist, she doesn't have, like a lot of benefits that a lot of jobs have. And so they've set up a GoFundMe page because she's been out of work for a while and doesn't know how much longer she'll be out. But I have this stuff from this company. I wish I could think of the name of it. Y'all probably have heard of it. Where you can get all different kinds of like hair dyes or hair powder that you can put at your roots. And I have some of that, but it's kind of a brown. And y'all, this is going to be all jacked up. So I had been using some of that at the roots when I would pull it back, and it would be so obviously yuck. But I contacted her the other day, and I took a picture of the white roots, and I said, you know what, I think I'm just going to quit fighting it and just go white, but how are we going to do that? And she called it a reverse something, I don't remember. Tessie said, Rodney's response is perfect. I was thinking the same, but I would have been too slow. Yeah, me too, Tessie. I don't come up with stuff like that. He does. And then when he says that to me, I'm like, why didn't I think of that? And I told Ronnie, I said, I was just about to tell him that I thought he's a nice looking guy, but he ruined that. When we hear that from me, after he told me back in the day, I should have said, what day are you talking about?
After he saw you standing out there for so long fixing your hair, he might have thought you were like standing on the street corner.
Yeah, he might have thought I was getting ready for him or something. I don't know. It's weird, y'all. It's weird. I'm a hairstyle. I use blue shampoo. I use purple shampoo. I use blue shampoo, Tammy. My hair is just white. That's all. It's as white as this white on this paper roll. This paper roll right here.
Destined to be white.
It is not gray. It's not salt and pepper. It's not blonde. It is snow white. And my eyebrows are dark, and I'm fixing to get them retouched. So I may ask her to try to go a little lighter on them, not a lot, but it's just so frustrating to me because I used to tell Rodney when he would say something about, just let your hair go natural. I said, no, when I'm about 85 or 90, I might. But until then, I'm going to enjoy having blonde and shimmering lights. Yeah, that's what I use. But nope, I just can't fight it anymore. It's as expensive as all get out. But here's the thing. Until all of this stuff that I've got in it grows out, it's still going to take a while, which means that I'm either going to have to live with the grow out part until I feel like I can afford to go get it done again, or I'm just going to have to, like every 4 to 6 weeks, go get it done because it grows so fast. And I'm grateful that it grows fast because I've had a few hairstyles in the past that I did not like, and people would say, well, you're lucky because your hair will grow fast. And it does. So that could be both a blessing and a curse, especially financially.
Get
Highlights,
some of that stuff that
lowlights.
Rudy Giuliani used a couple of years ago.
Yeah, maybe so. I have had highlights, and lowlights is what I had last, Debbie, that they put in my hair with the gray to try to make it look, thank you, to try to make it look more even toned or whatever, but it just never has worked. Sometimes you just kind of get to a point where you feel like, you know what, it's not worth the battle I'm fighting. Just go on. There have been times in the past where I have said kind of halfway jokingly and halfway seriously that I was going to give myself a Susan Powder haircut. Y'all know what that is? Oh, the struggles we gals go through. Back in the day, that guy would have got a stern eye from me. That's right. What do you mean back in the day? What day are you talking about?
The stink eye.
Yeah, that's right. I should have given him one of those little Valley Girl head nods. You know, like, what do you mean? Like, Wednesday? Monday? What day are you talking about? So my friend Vicky said, well, at least you got a compliment. And I went, if that's what you want to call it. My daddy used to love to tell us stories about backhanded compliments that he either heard people get or he gave people, because he was a big tease and cut up, and I'm sure he did his fair share of that. And as soon as it happened today, I told Rodney, I said, my daddy is in heaven cracking up. Yep, she just got it. Okay, y'all, these obviously look terrible because there's too many black ones, but like I said, it's going to be covered up with the flowers and it's not going to be covered up with the tassel, but it will be covered up with the flowers. So somehow or the other, we will make it work. And the worst case scenario is I go home and I say, you know what, I don't like that, and I'm just going to take all the elements off of it and throw this one in the trash can and redo it. But I think it would be fun, because these don't take long to make. I think it'd be fun to make up a bunch of these and just have them like to put on gift bags with or gift boxes or gift bags. Wouldn't that be fun to just
Maybe not the painting part, but wouldn't something like that work for a kid's project?
Oh yeah.
Involve the grandkids or something?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Especially with a hot metal blue.
And you can ask your friends and family to save toilet paper rolls for you, and paper towel rolls, and then you just zhuzh them up. You were amazing painting while driving and riding. Well, you know what? It's really not hard for me to do that as long as we don't hit bumps.
Or the potholes.
Or potholes. But if we hit bumps or potholes, it's not as easy. I'm trying to figure this one out. I think this whole thing right here is going to have to be black.
What's the lesson to be learned from this?
The lesson to be learned from this is that you make sure that you have an even number of checks, squares, whatever you want to call them.
So you start around
Before
a circular
you get started.
For a circular thing. So for a circular thing, before you start painting around it, make sure that you
Have an even
number of rows of checks.
And if you can tell you're going to run out, then you just divide the difference. You just go back and make some rows a little bit wider, some a little bit more narrow, because you know what? Most of the time, the human eye is not going to notice it anyway. Hey, Sharon Osborne Teasdale, how are you?
How many Sharons do you have on today? Just a couple, 2 or 3 you've mentioned.
All right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I've decided that I want to bend this so that this black part is in the front and is going to be covered up. And if I need to, I can go back and even add some white. So I'm bending it like this because I want to leave this part open to put the flowers and the moss in. Let me turn my heat tool on. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all my little tassel pieces right here that I did, and I'm going to line them up. Now this time I think I'm only going to use the cream color. This is called Sari, S-A-R-I Silk. Pretty soon I'm going to list the things in my Amazon store. I'm going to get a link tree and put my Amazon store up there, and then I'll list it. But in the meantime, you can go look for Sari, S-A-R-I Silk. All it is Indian fabric that's like remnants left over from when they make dresses, and then they sell it, and you can dye. It comes and you can buy it already dyed in different colors, or you can buy it like this in this natural color and dye it yourself.
Does Sari refer to the name of the garment?
Probably, but I don't know for sure. I love Sari Silk too. I had never used it. I had heard about it for a long time, and finally one day I thought, you know what, I'm going to order some Sari Silk in just the natural color. And let me tell y'all about the avocado dye. I learned this from Jen at Home Sweet Create. Hey Victoria. Well, look at you crafting in the car. That's where we get the name Crafting and Cruising. We're cruising down the highway, and sometimes I'm in the motorhome, and sometimes I'm in a rental car or my car or whatever. So this is where our page got its name. So avocado staining. This is the most bizarre thing I think I have ever seen in a long time. And my question is, who in the world just happened upon this little trick so that they could share it with the world? So you take an avocado, slice it in half, just like you would if you're going to be eating it or making guacamole, and you scoop out all of the meat. So again, you can, use that for your guacamole or whatever, your avocado toast or whatever. You scoop out all the meat. I'm going to try to tie this in a little bit of a knot, because what I did earlier today did not work as well. Scoop out all the meat, hey Antoinetta, and then run it under some water and try to get out all of the meat from inside the skin. So the skins will be just skin. That's all you'll have left, okay? Then you take the pit, the seed of the avocado. It's going to be too small. You take the seed of the avocado and you rinse it underwater real well too, because you want, an avocado pit or seed is kind of slimy feeling. So you want to get all that slime off there. And then you want to take your skins and cut them like in small. You are, Tessie? She's eating an avocado while I'm talking about it. Take a knife and just cut the skin in just like, smaller slices. Take all of that and put it in a pan. Put it on top of the stove. Bring it to a boil. Let me get a glue stick in here. Bring it to a boil. And you can go on and put your Sari Silk in it. Then you take 1 cup of ice water and pour the ice water into the boiling water. I know it sounds weird. It is weird, but it works. And then you turn your... Sorry, y'all. I hope you're still on here. I see 3 of you are. I know. We're fixing to go up Monteagle Mountain. And we were down in the valley, and now it's getting ready to rain too. So, okay, so you add your cup of iced water, then you turn it down to simmer, and you just leave your Sari Silk in there, stir it every now and then to make sure nothing is sticking or anything to the pan. Make sure you have enough water in there. And then, it's going to get loud, y'all, because it's raining. And then, you can leave it in there for 2, 3, 4 hours. And it ends up making this color right here kind of a very pale mauve. Okay? Why? How? I have no idea. But it's like a pale mauve. Now, if you add a teaspoon of baking soda into the water, it comes out to be this color. So this is from the same strip, but it comes out to be this color. Now this looks more brown. When I first took it out of the water, it was more of a deeper mauve. This is more brown. And then what you do is just put it on, lay the pieces out on a cookie sheet, and put them in about a 250, 275 oven until they're done. Not until they're done, until they're dry, which doesn't take long. Because they're not going to be that wet. I took them out of the water, of course, and I wrung them out real good, squeezed them out real good, get the extra liquid out. And then I just laid them out on the cookie sheet and let them sit in the oven. I think I had my oven on 250.
Does that set the colors, or can you just put them outside when it's dry in the sun?
I don't know. I'm sure you could just, hey Sharon Aubrey, I'm sure you could just dry them in the sun, but I didn't. So anyway, that's how you do it. And I just, to me, that is so fascinating. I don't know how it works, but I think it's so cool. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue tool now, and I'm going to close, put a row of glue here, and close the bottom of this paper towel holder. Wipe off the excess, and I'm just going to hold it here for a minute. Whoops, nope, I'm not going to do that. You know what? I forgot to put this in. So let me add a little bit more glue up here and stick my tassel in there. And now, try to center my tassel. Woo, y'all, that's hot even through this paper towel holder. Hey, Carol, close. So, oh, it's hot. Holding it, holding it, holding it.
Over.
Yep, that was short-lived. Okay, so now we have tassels here. I might trim them up a little bit just because they look kind of long. Now we can either use, in my other one, I used a purple moss, but I also have of them came out. I also have, sorry y'all, I'm moving it around a little bit. I have this, what's it called?
Spanish moss? No.
Reindeer moss. So I have the reindeer moss, and I have this blue purple moss. Now most of the flowers we're going to be using are purple, pink, with some green leaves. So we are going to have some green leaves in there. So, should we use the green or should we use the purple? Y'all tell me. When I was a hippie, we dyed our clothes with vegetables. That's cool. I love that.
Who was a hippie?
Debbie Harris was a hippie. Y'all, I'm losing these things. They didn't stick together very well.
Glue down through there, let it leave the ends in. That work? Just drizzle some down in there.
Yeah, but that's it. Purple, Tessie says. Okay, we got one vote for purple. Green, Carol says. We got one vote for green. Okay, it's tiebreaker, purple and green. Y'all vote. Another purple. No, that's still the same one. Purple, green. Need somebody else to vote. Purple moss or green moss? Shelly Stackland said purple, so that's the tiebreaker. Purple it is. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put, let me get some purple out here just to have it available. Now, I'm going to stick some hot melt glue down in the bottom of this. And y'all, this is my Ryobi, and that's why it's so hot. That Ryobi glue gun gets really, really hot. Okay. Some more purple. this different color purple. Okay, so now we've got the purple down in here to hold everything. Now, on the front is where, on the other one, I had my flowers, my central kind of flowers that I liked. I don't have any more of the bigger flowers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these that I cut off of the stems, and I'm just going to kind of work with them and fold them a little bit so that I can make like a clump of flowers and glue them down. Let me move this out of the way and move this over here. So hopefully, I need to tilt back down, Ronnie. Can you help me tilt it back down?
How much you need?
That's probably good. Okay. So let me see about...
If Lisa starts kind of leaning back and forth, that's us going through the curves up Mount Eagle Mountain here in Mount Eagle, Tennessee. So she may look a little bit sideways here in a minute.
Okay, let me put some of this glue right here. Ooh, that's hot glue. And I'm going to hold it flat. And I'm going to glue this bottom part up in just a minute because I want it to look more like a clump of flowers, and I want to do several layers. So let me see if I can kind of hold it right here for a minute and show you. We'll also be sticking some green leaves in here. So that boo-boo that I made with my checks is not going to show, I don't think, at all. This is the stringiest glue, and it's Gorilla hot glue, but I tell you what, this stuff strings so badly. Hello, my sweet Denise. Hey, Elaine Allen, how are ya? Oops, that didn't stay out of the way. Denise, I loved your project today. It was really cool, and I love your sisters, Elvis and Marilyn, and car crafting. I am car crafting and cruising, don't you know? Denise, you've got to go back and watch the replay so you can hear about the backhanded compliment I got today. You will die. You will think it's hilarious. I can hear you right now cackling about it. I just got through telling it a while ago, and I thought that Denise would really like this story. I sure wish I could hear you. Oh no, from who? From some guy at the hotel where we were standing at the desk. And basically, I'll just summarize it for you, Denise. I have on no makeup. My hair's a greasy mess. I woke up with a bad headache, and I knew we were going to be traveling today, so I didn't care anything about putting makeup on. And Rodney had gone to do a job, and so I stayed at that hotel till he got back to pick me up for us to leave. And but I had my hair up in a ponytail. It was too tight. So when he called me and told me he was almost back, I gathered up the rest of the stuff and went downstairs, and I saw this very nice looking African American man, probably in his 40s or early 50s, standing at the desk talking to the people that work at the desk. So I just assumed that he was a guest arriving or checking out. See, the little clump like that. So see, we're going to be covering all that up, and nobody's going to know I messed it up because I'm going to put a trim around here, which I should have done first, and I didn't. So anyway, in fact, I'm going to stop right now and do my trim because I want to make sure that I can get to it. Hold that thought. I'm gonna finish. No, Denise, don't cackle. Oh, she'll cackle. Okay. Okay. On the other one that I made, I used this silver like mirror. I can either use that again, or I can use a row or two of the Robert Stanley gold bling. So which do y'all think I should use around the top and bottom of this one? Silver or gold? Susie Zane, hi sweet friend. Silver or gold? Y'all tell me. Tell me quick. The silver mirrored or the gold Robert Stanley? Somebody speak. Speak, 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 please. I'm going to finish telling you the story after you tell me what color I should use. Silver or the gold? Gold, Shelly Sackman says. Okay. So, I'm going to cut it down to just 2. So anyway, Rodney told me that he would call me on his way back to let me know that he would be there soon. And I said, okay. So, he called, said, I'm on my way back. I said, okay. So I decided to go downstairs. Oh, I told you that. So the African-American man was standing there talking to the people at the desk. I didn't stop and talk to any of them. I just walked outside with my stuff. And because my head was hurting so bad and I had that tight ponytail in my hair, I thought, I've got to do something to loosen this thing up. Hey, Teresa, so I was standing there. I took my ponytail out. And then I tried to put it up looser, and it wasn't working. And I did that like 2 or 3 times. And you know how sometimes when you're doing your hair, you know, you just kind of turn around or, you know, turn this way and that way or walk around or whatever while you're doing it. And so I realized at one point that when I did that, I was kind of looking back in the lobby, but I wasn't looking at anybody. And so anyway, a few minutes later, that man comes out. And his car was parked under the little portico where you pull in to check in to the hotel. And so he comes out, and as he's walking toward his car, he says, and I quote, I bet back in the day you had the men all over you. And he was walking as he said it. And so I wasn't totally sure what he said. And I said, what? And he goes, I bet back in the day you had the men all over you. Y'all, I didn't know what to say. And so I just kind of laughed. Oh, thank you, like that. Well, about that time, Rodney drove up. He told me later he just assumed I had been talking to the guy because he saw us talking. And so then he goes, yeah, I bet back in the day you were pretty. I know, Denise. I knew you would be dying laughing. So Rodney gets out and gets my stuff to put in the car. And when we got back in the car, he goes, what did he say? And I told him, and he said, was he being mean? And I said, no, I don't think he was. I think he was really seriously. He thought he was paying me a compliment, but bless his heart, he evidently, his mama didn't raise him right. He didn't know that what he was saying was not the way you say it. And so Rodney goes, well, what you should have said. Rodney's real quick with stuff like this. Of course, I'm not. And then when he tells me stuff afterwards, I'm like, dadgummit, I wish you had told me that earlier. Rodney goes, when he said back in the day, you should have said, what do you mean back in the day? I got the men all over me now, just like ducks on a June bug. Y'all. So, let that sink in. No, you're sweet, Denise. No, I don't think that has anything to do with it. But he was trying to be nice. And I mean, he was a nice-looking guy. I told Rodney, I was about to tell him he was a nice-looking guy. When he said that, I thought, heck no, I'm not telling you that. Not after you said that to me. Back in the day. Susie, you're so sweet. Thank you. But it just cracked me up, y'all. Back in the day.
I bet you used to be a real looker.
Yeah. 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 Well, if he was hitting on me, honey, looking like this, with this greasy hair and no makeup and this outfit, he was pretty darn desperate, I tell you. Very desperate. But I was dying laughing. I didn't laugh in front of him because I thought, poor thing, it really honestly didn't hit me until Rodney said, what did he say? And then when I was telling Rodney, I was like, oh my gosh. He said, back in the day, I bet you were. Past tense. Your sister has a quick wit? Well, I don't. Rodney does. He comes up with some lines and I'm just like, where in the world did that come from? I need some air. Okay, now what I want to do is put a few little leaves on the front of this, because you know we can't have flowers without leaves. So all I'm doing is just putting a little bit of hot melt on this, the backs of these, and just sticking them in here. And then in a minute I'll show y'all, for the ones who weren't on here, the one I made this morning. And I think I'm going to cut something out to put on the back of this one too. And what we talked about at the beginning, for those of y'all who weren't here, I think that these would be darling. And I also realized I forgot to put my handle in already. I think these would be darling to give on a bag, like a gift bag, for any kind of gift you're giving somebody. You could put a scripture on here. You could put their initials on here. It'd be just like they're opening a gift, but then they have an extra gift, because you can hang this on a light pull. You can hang it. Let me show you. This is the one I made this morning, and I just realized I didn't put my handle on, make a handle yet. So this is the one I made this morning. It has a little purple flower, and then on the back, I cut these out of scrapbook paper. I was thinking the same thing. It was pretty then. I was pretty then. Now I'm beautiful. That's right.
Oh, that's a good one.
And what I was going to do, now that I've got my glue tool set up, I got these little pearls when we stopped at Michael's, just to put in the center of this little flower right here, because I thought it needed something right there. But those are just a piece of, those flowers were on a piece of scrapbook paper that I may cut out again. So I need to get the handle on here. This is the one that I bought from Allie's Studio, Allison Monell. I just love it. I think it's so sweet. She hung her tassel, you know, from some beads, which is really cute too.
You can also put these on a package, or give it not just a gift bag, but a package like a bow.
Yeah, for sure.
In place of a bow. For
sure. Okay, let's see. I already made a handle, and I made it out of, where's all my flowers? Did any of them fall? No, I had all of them already cut out. I had my handle. This is what I was going to use for my handle. So, is that a smash can? No, it's a not a paper towel roll. I just cut parts off of it. You can use toilet paper roll too. Okay, so let me put a little glue right down in here. And I'm going to stick this end in and hold it. So I decided to use these little flowers. She is so talented, Shelly. You're right. Her talent is incredible. She designed my logo. She designed my business cards. She made the labels, the little round labels that were on the back of the coasters that I gave out at the meet and greet. Very, very talented. Okay, and then we'll put this end right here on this side. So we'll put some glue down on this side. And stick this down in here and hold it. And it's called a posy. Now that, I'm not sure, that's what Allison called it. So I'm not sure where the name, you know, that song we used to sing as children. Pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Terrible song, really.
It really is a terrible song. Okay, so look, y'all. Remember how I made that mistake with my checks? Can't even tell it on the front. And the ones on the back are fine. So now, what I'm going to do is start adding my little flowers in the top. Now some of them I actually glued in and some of them I just stuck down in there. But I had gone on and cut them out ahead of time. And then if I need to take more off of them, more of the stem off, I can. Like this one could probably use a little more off and a little glue on the end of it, so wherever I put it, maybe it'll stay down in there. Hey Gilbert, how are you, my friend? We are part of the way between
We're Pelham, Tennessee is where
Nashville and Chattanooga. I'll hold this down for a minute. It's trying to come out. Crafted in the car. That's right. Just like the Debbie rig. Well, you know, that's where I got my page name, Jill. Crafting and Cruising. Most of the time, I'm crafting from the motorhome. Whether we're parked in the driveway or we're driving down the road. But, and so sometimes Rodney's driving the motorhome and I'm sitting in the back at my desk crafting and doing the live at the same time. But cruising today in the car. Hey, look, y'all. Still working on it. I love these little pink flowers, but I think I want some of this purple to match like the handle down in here somewhere. That may be too tall. Let me cut it. So what other applications can y'all see for this? Teachers' gifts, put them on the outside of gift bags, of gift boxes. They have posies cover the smell of death from the plague. That's so sad.
That's where they all fall down came from.
Makes me sad. Y'all, if you were not on my live yesterday when I interviewed my watercolor teacher, my art teacher, graduation, good idea, Victoria. They'd also be cute to put in dorm rooms, don't you think? Especially for girls. Guys wouldn't like it, but girls would. If you didn't see the interview with my art teacher, I hope that you'll go back and watch it. She is 84 years old. We went yesterday and I got to interview her, to talk to her about her life and, you know, how she started watercolor, and then she told us a lot about watercolor technique and important materials to use and the most important elements of watercolor. And then I walked through her apartment and showed on the video a lot of the paintings. Of course, she doesn't have near. She is precious, isn't she, Jill? Thank you, Chris. She, since she has endured cancer and lost her husband, she has realized that life is short and that it needs to be lived. And so that's exactly what she's doing. So she's in a place that's a retirement kind of center, and in one building, not the one she's in, but in one building is like a memory care for people who need more, you know, assistance. And then her building is basically independent living. But they could go to a cafeteria and they have really good food. We ate there yesterday with her, and somehow this thing got moved over again, my tassel. I don't like it. And so then they had this, if you didn't see the other video that I posted recently, you need to go watch it. they had a man there. I don't know if he's did you get whether he was a resident or not, Rodney? Or
No, I don't think he is. He just comes in there.
he had a pretty good voice, and of course he sang music from their generation. And hey, my sister Kimberly. And so he comes once a week and does like a concert. Well, many of those people, you know, have walkers or like the motorized things that they have to, you know, use or whatever, and can't really get up and do much. Gail used to love to dance. She and Ken were big dancers, and she loved dancing. And so she got out there. I had Rodney record a little bit of it yesterday. She got out there and started dancing, and she went up to one lady and got her up. The lady was sitting there with her husband, and she got her up and took her out there and danced with her, which is what you see on the video. And then she went up to 2 or 3 people, and that were like in wheelchairs or, you know, whatever, and couldn't get up. And she just held onto their hands and rocked back and forth like she was dancing with them. It was so precious. And so when we got ready to leave, she said, "I don't want you to leave." And I said, "I know, I don't either." And so I told her that I would try to come back, and maybe I can get her on live and she can demonstrate, you know, either watercolor or some of her tack downs that she's doing. But oh, it was so good to see her. Okay, so here's this side. Now, I got on the other one, I had made a little beaded front right here with some of the, like, it's almost like the eyelash ribbon or yarn. And then I put a couple of pearls on there and a small tassel in the front. But I think, can I have those papers, please? I think the last thing I want to do is look at these papers that I have. This is the paper that I used today to cut the flowers out of, and then I just layered them. I liked this, but I don't think my cozy is big enough to put her face on. Might be. I want to cut this out and just see. Did you see this paper? I just want to see what happens if we cut this out. If it will fit. I think it's so cool. This is a Jane Davenport. This is from a Jane Davenport paper kit. I don't know if you can even still get it or not. Jane Davenport lives in Australia. She's a wonderful artist. And I used to love going to Michael's. All her stuff used to be in Michael's. I haven't seen it there in a while, so I don't know if it still is or not. But don't know if it's going to work. I think it would be cool to try, but let me see. Love that paper. Me too, Denise. I love it too. Maybe I could kind of just follow the line of her chin. Just made this, oops. Oh, that's extra. Okay. Made this one so small. No, it's not going to get. No, I'll have to save that one for another one. Okay. So, let's see what else we have. We have this that we could do something with, cut something out of. Have this that we can make some like layered flowers. We can layer some of these in flowers, or actually what I could do is layer these 2 papers together and make a flower. Maybe that's what I'll do. So let me see if I can figure out the best way with my pencil to draw. No, we're not heading to Florida, sis. We're heading home. We've been in Atlanta, and tomorrow we leave to go well gotten everything ready on the bus, or on the motorhome, whatever you want to call it. But we're heading home to get ready to do that. We'll get my nails done tomorrow because they are in sad shape. And then we'll be heading to the campground. That's probably a pretty good size. Okay, I just drew it on the back. And what I did with this other one when I cut it out was I kind of took my scissors and ran along the edge of the paper to kind of just give it a little bit of almost a feathered look. And then I tried to kind of roll up the ends so that they would just look more like petals than just flat pieces. Can't keep track of you guys, Kimberly said. I know, Kimberly. I'm ready for you and Ron to come out here and camp with us. What is it you call Ron? What does she call Ron? Not Big Daddy, that's Kathy D. What do you call Ron, Kimberly? This one may be kind of small. May have to make a bigger one out of that other paper. But I think if you just take scrapbook papers like this that are similar colors, you can trace around something if you want to, but I just freehand flower shapes. You can do sunflower shapes. You could do a rose shape. You could do like a daisy shape. Big woo, that's right. A daisy shape, and then just layer, make them different sizes and layer them on top of each other. And then I'll have some more leaves cut out that I was going to glue on there, and then put another pearl in the center of this one. But you could put a tag on the back that you could write a little sentiment on. You could do these in fabric. Doesn't have to be paper. Sure, doesn't have to be checked. You can do anything. Fabric, any kind of scrapbook paper. See, I'll probably make a little bit bigger one to go under that one, maybe out of this other paper. So let me turn this one upside down and see. I think I want to put it about right here. And what I'm going to do is trace around this, but then when I cut around it, I'm going to cut around it bigger. And then I'll probably do one more smaller for the center. Then we can put the leaves on it and the pearl in the center. And then we'll have it done. Unless I do some kind of little something to hang from the front like I did the other one with the tassel and that looks cool. Thank you, Kimberly. This was an easier one to do in the car. So I thought it would be fun to kind of do something like this with all the things that you can do with it. I have some tassels when Debbie Rigg was teaching us how to make tassels in the private group, using some of the small terracotta pots that you can get a lot of times from Dollar Tree and places like that. When Debbie taught us how to do that, I made several and hung them on the chain pulls of some of the lamps I have in my den. And they look really cute. Also had one for a while hung from my kitchen chandelier. It's more of it's not, a real fancy crystal chandelier, but it has little flowers along the edge of it. So let's see, you made them too, Denise? Okay, so see, we've got two right here. And then we should make a small one to go in the center. And then I can show you how I kind of roughed them up on the edges. And put them together. So what do y'all have planned for the weekend? Does anybody have any great big plans coming up for this weekend? It's almost Memorial Day weekend, you guys. Can y'all believe we're approaching June already? It's unbelievable to me how cut this one out real quick. If y'all could see this mess on my lap. It's a big one. It'll take me a while to clean the car when I get home. That's okay. That's crafting and cruising for you.
Just take my new blower and blow it all out.
That's right. Alright, so what plans do y'all have? I'll be on vacation starting Thursday. Cool. Are you going somewhere, Carol? You want to take a vacation, or are you doing a staycation, or what are you doing? We leave on June the 10th for the Dominican Republic with our children and our grandchildren. And this time it's not a mission trip, it's a vacation. At an all-inclusive, so I'm excited. We don't have to worry about cooking meals or anything. Okay, here's this little one. We're on vacation. We're going to OC, Maryland. What's OC?
Ocean City.
Ocean City. I've been there with my hubby.
I've done jobs up there about 6 or 7 times.
That hot. That's hot.
It's been sitting there cooking for a while.
Yeah, man. Okay, I'm just going to stack these up and then I'll show you what I do. Getting house and fifth ready to head to Texas and help our daughter and son-in-law move to their newly purchased home during the Memorial Day weekend. Fun! Are they going to still live in the same general area? Or are they moving to another state? Or what's the plan?
That sounds like a working vacation.
Yeah,
there.
that's a working vacation. Okay, y'all, here's what we have. So what I'm going to do is take my scissors, open them up, and just kind of rough these little edges up with the side of my scissors. It's almost like feathering them, and at the same time, it's kind of giving them a little bend. Just to kind of make them bend in, bend out, give them some more of a 3D look. Finger protectors for that, Victoria. I know you did. You also gave me a little thing to hold them down with, and I didn't bring it. Sorry.
Show them a nice finger protector holder on your glue gun.
Yes, so on my Ryobi glue tool that I got, my husband also made me a loop for my finger protectors. However, say they do not stay in there. They fall out real easily.
That's the big one first.
So they are in my, actually, they should be in here.
Should be.
I left them, I had some right in between my seats. Maybe I took them in the other day because I thought, what am I doing with finger protectors in my car? See, I shouldn't have done that. Should have left them alone. But I did have some in here. So, to be honest with you, I rarely use the Ryobi. I love it when I'm doing something like with wood or something heavy duty. No, it just ran out. So, that means I better get some glue on here quick. It doesn't last long. Okay, I'm going to stick this on the back right here. Got another pearl already ready to put in here. Let me do it here and then stick the pearl down. Okay, it's not quite in the center. Let's get it in the center. And then I've got my leaves to put on here yet. So let me get them. Then we'll be done, you guys. Show you all 3 of them. Okay, here's the rest of my leaves. And everything I've kind of messed up over here. All pulled to one side. bath, y'all.
Just a little.
Here's one. Let's do 2 more. Remember, you should work in odd numbers. Okay, one more.
Let's see your blue one.
Road trip. Oh, thank you, Kimberly, for sending me stars. That's so sweet. I appreciate you, sis. Okay, y'all. Other than maybe something on the tassel in the front, all these on. Here is another little posy. Making me nervous with that glue gun. Should I send you some stick fast? No, I hate stick fast. I used it the other day, got all over my finger. Okay, then I made this one this morning. So we have these 2. And then the one I got from Allison Monell. Let me put the flower back in here that she had down in the center because it came out. Okay. Here's the one from Allison. Up, we're back. Sorry, y'all. Okay, this is the one Allison made. Love it. I like the way she has her little tassel hanging from beads. And then she made her little leaves out of scrapbook paper, the green and white check. And she's got this little wood hanging off of it. This is love. And then this is either, I don't know if she hand painted or covered with scrapbook paper. I love it. And then look, I just noticed this too right back here on the back. Just got a little bee. Isn't that so cute? I love this little flower. So there you go, y'all. Posies. We got some posies. And they're just fun. You don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about them.
I can see where
It's fun.
you made a bunch of the components up ahead of time with
Yeah.
short flowers and tassels, and then get some kids, like grandkids or something together.
Yeah.
They could, instead of using the hot glue, they can staple those bottoms together.
That's right. Because if you're going to put a trim on the bottom anyway, it doesn't matter if you staple it.
And they could use stickles to squirt on there and decorate.
I so appreciate you all being on here and sticking with me and listening to my backhanded compliment. I hope that you were blessed one day with a backhanded compliment like I got. Probably won't be as meaningful as mine, but maybe so. Hey Jill, we're through. I'll show you real quick, Jill, the one we finished is right here. Get all the little glue boogers off, so the front and the back. And then this is the one I made this morning. The front, the back. I don't know that it matters, front or back. I do need to put a clear coat on this, so I'll do that. I've got my mixture of Duraclear triple thick. And I think on this one too, I'll go back, maybe, I don't know, maybe not. But on this one, if you look real close, you can see in between the squares, I put a polka dot. So I might do that on this one too. But I'll definitely put a clear coat on it. And then this is the one that Allison made. And next time I want to do like she did with the tassel and put little beads on there. I think that's so cute. Okay. Thank you for sprinkling. What does that say? You could use tomato. A lot of people use cans. If you want a bigger one, you can even use a vegetable can. But yes, that's right. So, darling, thank you, Kimberly. Thank you for sprinkling. Thank you for the stars. Y'all are so sweet. I love you all, and I just used a paper towel roll and cut off the end. And used a toilet paper roll too. Thank you for all those stars. Hey, Jan Sweeney, Beer, you missed it, sister. Go back and watch the replay. Thank you for coming on. I hope you'll follow our page. Y'all, Thursday night and 2 nights on Telegram is the giveaway for the watercolor painting. If you're not on my Telegram, it's one of the 2 pinned at the top of my page. It's got the little white arrow on the blue background. It says Telegram. Telegram is a free app. You can join the app and then look up Craftin' and Cruisin' and hit join my channel. You'll get notifications every time I'm going on. And one person on Telegram, not on Facebook, but on Telegram, will win a watercolor painting Thursday. So you want to make sure you stay tuned. We will be camping Thursday, and we'll be going out to dinner that night. So I'm not exactly sure what time I'll be on to do a craft in the giveaway, but it will be this Thursday night. You're welcome, Tessie. Thank you. So you all join the Telegram, hit the follow button on our page if you're not already, and please check your notifications. Mr. FB is constantly doing updates and shutting people's notifications off, so you have to pretty often go back and make sure that you're still subscribed and still receive notifications. But that Telegram app is amazing for crafters to be able to communicate with people. So if you have not sent me your email address, because I'm trying to compile an email list, I will never share your email with anyone. But because of all the changes going on certain platforms, some people are randomly getting shut down for no reason. I need to be able to contact you to let you know where I'm going to be. Instagram, YouTube, wherever. So if you will email me your address, or you can PM me, but email, if you're going to email, craftandcruise@gmail.com and spell out the word and just say, you know, this is my email address, and I'll put you on my list. I promise you, I'll never share it with anybody. I just need to be able to get in touch with you if something happens, okay? So I'll see you Thursday night. Go back and watch the replay if you missed it. I love you guys. Go out and be a blessing, and